Okay, everybody, this is another video here on how to fill out the Wufoo form correctly. We've had quite a few problems with people filling out Wufoo forms incorrectly, and we just want to make sure it's done right. So if you go to www.briosolarenergy.com, that'll take you to the website. What you'll do from there is you'll click on Solar Agreement. That'll pop up. It may be here. So you should see a little tab that says Solar Agreement, or click there. Now the password is power. So password is power to get in. Now this will bring you to a couple different things here. What you want to look for is the Nevada Solar Agreement. So you click on the Nevada Solar Agreement and it'll bring up the Wufoo form. Okay, now what's really important about this Wufoo form, we want to reiterate, is you have to fill it out correctly. We've had a lot of issues with people not filling it out correctly. It's crucial that you do and pay attention to what you're doing. So first thing we're going to look at is the name. So seems simple enough. We have a proposal over here on our right, Ray Stefanis. Now something that's really important to know about this. So on the proposal it shows Ray. Okay, so most likely he's the one that we did the proposal under his name. Now the Nevada Solar Agreement goes to the utility company. The utility company looks at the utility bill as well. So this Nevada Solar Agreement needs to have the person's name who is on the utility bill. That is very important, or you're going to have to redo the whole thing. So the person's name that is on the utility bill has to be on the solar agreement. I would also include the person who's on the loan, right? So if it's Ray, if Ray's on the utility bill and he's on the loan, you'd include him. Now, let's say Ray is on there, but Marie is the one on the utility bill, right? So what we do, you can do, I'd just say Ray and Marie Stefanis, okay? Ray's on the loan, and Marie must be on the utility bill. So you want to see who's on the utility bill. Now, if they have different last names, Ray Stefanis. Now let's say Marie's name is different, and Marie Jones. Okay, that is how you fill out the name. Make sure this is done correctly, and then you go down to the address. You'll find the address right here, right? Pretty simple. See, I just put court instead of circle. I would have to redo that again. Very important. Las Vegas. Sometimes it'll auto-fill stuff in. Make sure that your autocorrect is not on. Make sure you have spaces in the right places. It's very important you put in all the necessary information. Okay, phone number of the person, all that. I'm going to skip kind of through that because you know how to put in a phone number, and go down to here. So estimated kilowatt usage. This is going to be their current electrical consumption. That right there is their estimated usage. So we're going to put 16716. Yep. See? Screwed up. Don't screw it up. System size you can find on the third page. It is an 8.54 kilowatt. Panel description. There's a couple different panels. If you can see down here, this one we use light ways. So you want to put in the panel. You want to put in the inverter. As you can see, they used ABB, which we actually don't use anymore, but it'll show one of the current inverters. The amount of panels, 28 solar panels right here. So you're going to want to put 28. Utility company. Now this is the account number off of their utility bill. Make sure you have their account number. You know, whatever it might be. I'm just making this up. It's usually a lot of digits. You want to double check that account number. We see that entered in incorrectly all the time. Roof tile, roof type, shingles, tile, whatever the roof might be. Purchase total. So now this can be found here. So there's a cash option over here, or it's under option B as well. So this top number right here is what you'd put down under the purchase total, 476, and you have to make sure to put the cents in all of these situations. Now, if they're doing a loan, there is no down payment, okay? We're going to put 0 there. Prepaid amount if leased. Well, not leasing it with this example. So what's the balance? It's exactly the same, right? So I'm just, to make it simpler, I'm going to copy and paste it in there. Now, let's real quick run a different scenario. If they prepaid a lease, then you'd want to put the amount in there that they prepaid. But let's say they bought it cash. Let's say they just wanted a cash purchase, okay? So we have the cash total purchase, and we'd put the down payment. Now the down payment is a minimum of 30% of the purchase total for a down payment. So if we have 33,476 times that by 0.30, that gives us $10,042.80. So the person would need to write you a check for that $10,042.80. The balance is how much is remaining, right? How much is left over? Pretty simple. So that would be $23,433.20. Amount financed, obviously it would change to 0 if they are not financing. Now, you put the X in Admiral's Bank, assuming they're using Admiral's Bank. If they're not, you put none, because there is no financing. So it just depends on if they're doing a loan or not. FMSI, we're probably going to be changing. That was a PPA we were using. You put an X there if it's Clean Power Finance, if it's Sun Edison, whatever is there in that section for a lease or PPA, you'd mark that that was it, and then you would put none in the other. You need to make sure to fill out each space. You can't leave them blank. They have to be filled out, okay? Term, 20 years, right? Again, if they did cash, you put none. If they did cash, you put none. It's traditionally filled in with the 3.99 and a 20-year term. So again, you can change those things. Estimated payment, that's going to be right here for the Admiral's loan. This is the payment. Financing payments per month, $138.00. This is if you had a lease. Obviously, if there is none, you put zeros, correct? Now, again, if they bought cash, they have no loan payment, so it would be 0 in both columns. But in this example, they do, so we're going to put 138. Annual payment escalator. There is none. The payment escalator would only be with a lease or PPA. It might be 2.9%, maybe 1.9, right? But right now there's none, so you just put none. They have to include that in there. You leave it blank, and then you include the HOA information. So Summerlin Springs, phone number, right? 702. Right, so you include the, and if possible, a contact person. Again, if any of these are incorrect, just put none. Okay. Now, your email. This is really important. You need to put in your email, right, to show exactly where this doc verify is going, and your name, right. Again, it's really important, really ultra important. Obviously, here you put in the person who's doing it, their email of where they're going to receive the doc verify form. Now, biggest thing you guys can do is go through this one by one and make sure everything is correct. Okay, we've had way too many instances where people come in and they do it and it's not correct, right? So like for me, because I said this was a loan, this would have to be that, but we just want to make sure that you guys do this 100% correct. It's very important, because if not, you're going to have to just redo it again. So you want to go through and make sure. Now, the only other thing with this, obviously, once you submit it, it'll say, great, thanks for submitting, and then it will, obviously, an email will be sent to this email, to the homeowner. Where's the email? Right here, right? Whatever that is, and they will docu-sign it. There's another video that shows you, it's not a vocal video, but just shows you where to click and how to have them docu-sign it. Very simple process, very easy. Then that doc verify will come directly to you as a rep. You will then doc verify or docu-sign that document. And then from there you are done. You're completely done with that process, and then from there we can get a site survey and loan docs will be sent out. So again, Biggest things, make sure you have the correct names, who's on the proposal, but not only that, who's on the utility bill more importantly, all their information correct, including account numbers. You can call into NV Energy to get the account number if you don't have it in front of you. And make sure, again, you put everything in correct here. It's everything before tax incentives on a loan. If it's a cash, obviously you need to put at least 30% down and get that check from them, give what the balance is, but make sure all these are filled out correctly. So that's about it for the Wufoo form. Thanks, guys.